Hi everyone, this is Hannah Cobb and you're listening to Nature's Wisdom. This is my podcast and it's been quite a while since we've done a podcast episode, but we're on season 1, episode 7 of this season. Lots of life changes have happened for me. I have a 1-year-old now, so lots of things that kind of got put on hold. And just doing the things that I really needed to do, and the other things just kind of got left to the wayside. But now we're ready to pick this back up and do some more episodes. So I am really excited to bring this knowledge to you guys. And, with this podcast, the thing that I really love doing is doing a deep dive into herbalism, doing specific episodes on different herbs and what they do for the body. But then sometimes we also dive into different topics and view those in a holistic way, how to heal the body in a holistic way. So today, with it being episode 7, we're going to do a podcast episode all about heartburn, reflux, and how to approach that in a natural and holistic way, how to understand what's going on within the body when this is happening, ways that conventional medicine approaches this issue, and then ways that we would approach it in a natural way. So, of course, our perspective is always getting to the root cause of why someone is having this symptom. In this case, heartburn and reflux. So let's just get started. Let's get into the meat of the episode and talk about some of the things that can lead into getting heartburn and reflux. So just as a disclaimer, I always have to say this, you guys know, if we are talking about different supplements and herbs, it is always a good idea to talk to your practitioner, your doctor, your trusted provider to make sure that these supplements would be a good addition to you. Obviously, I don't know your issues. I don't know what would be best for you. So you do really need to talk to your doctor and make sure that this is a good idea to add to what you are currently taking. So let's get into it though. So I just wanted to say to you that digestive issues are probably one of the most common things that clients come to me for. I feel like it's just a rampant problem, whether that is the heartburn, reflux, bloating, constipation, IBS, all of these issues that are going on for us now. It's just widespread, unfortunately. So it's a really, really common thing. But of course, today we're just focusing on the upper GI, stomach, and that issue of heartburn. So let's take that holistic view of why people get this symptom. So what you'll normally hear is there is too much stomach acid. I'm here to say that that is definitely a myth. So let's get into that. So that's something that you're going to hear from your conventional medical doctor when you have heartburn. They're going to put you on something like an antacid, a PPI, proton pump inhibitor, to help with that pain and help you to not have that burning sensation. But in reality, the stomach acid is not the problem. It fixes the pain, but the issue is that there's a deeper problem and there's actually inflammation in the stomach lining. So this stomach acid that our body is secreting naturally every time we are digesting our food, especially protein, it just is naturally secreted, of course, in response to food being digested. It is burning that inflamed stomach lining that most people have. So again, that stomach acid is not the issue. We have to figure out Why is the stomach lining damaged? So we're going to be talking a little bit about that. So just realize that we actually want stomach acid. It's a part of digesting protein, especially like we just mentioned. And there are ramifications to our health when we are suppressing stomach acid, and we'll get into that in a minute. But again, the real issue is the damaged stomach lining being inflamed, and that stomach acid, when it's secreted naturally, it's just causing pain because the tissue is so tender and there's so much inflammation in your stomach lining, and that mucosal layer that protects your stomach wall from the acid. It's like just a soothing, nice mucosal layer that's there. Usually that's wiped out for people. That lining is severely damaged and it's not intact anymore. So again, that is causing a lot of pain when the stomach acid comes in. So we'll get into what can help to heal the stomach lining and why, that can be damaged. But just for a moment, let's talk about the dangers of using proton pump inhibitors or acid blockers and going, that conventional route. If you choose to believe, okay, stomach acid is the problem and I'm going to take the antacid, what is also going to happen is you're going to be inhibiting your digestion. So either acid is blocked or it's turned off from the actual cells that are supposed to be secreting stomach acid, and it's not properly allowing you to break down food into small digestible pieces when you don't have healthy stomach acid. We could go even further to talk about the importance of stomach acid and how it protects us from infections. Parasites, bacteria in our food. So if you have, like raw fish or something, things that are higher in parasites, or there is some bacteria in your food, that stomach acid is there to protect us and really help with killing whatever pathogen that maybe you've come in contact with. So you can see low stomach acid because of proton pump inhibitor use or antacids, that is going to cause a lot of pathogenic, things to slip through and cause issues, obviously, especially for our digestive system. So, the other thing is that if you're not breaking down your food properly because you have low stomach acid now because you're using these PPIs, what's going to happen is it's actually going to make your acid reflux and your heartburn worse. So when stomach acid isn't secreted, food is just sitting there in our stomachs. It's causing a lot of irritation to that stomach lining further because the food's sitting there, it's fermenting, it's not digesting, it's not moving downward as it should into the small intestine from that stomach. And it's causing further irritation to your stomach lining, causing more damage. So it's really not helping the problem. It's a big band-aid, of course, that temporarily helps the pain. But when we're trying to get to the root cause, we need to look at other issues. And then, of course, we have proton pump inhibitor deficiencies that can happen from lack of stomach acid for years and years. People can have deficiencies of iron, calcium, magnesium, and B12. And I believe that's especially because you're not breaking down protein, especially properly. So you could have deficiencies over the long term because of taking these medications. But let's get into, okay, so maybe you don't go that route and you say, I want to go a holistic route to healing. I want to figure out, why is my stomach lining damaged? How can I support my digestion so I can heal this heartburn and reflux? So let's talk about some of the main things that you can do to help your stomach lining heal and then fix the actual problem. So the biggest thing that you want to do is get into rest and digest mode of your nervous system. So we have our parasympathetic nervous system, and we have two branches. We have the sympathetic and then the parasympathetic, of course. So that's two branches of the nervous system. And the sympathetic is our fight or flight, our adrenaline kind of stressed state where we're going. It's triggered in response to external stressors, physical, mental, emotional stressors. And then we have the other branch of our nervous system, the parasympathetic. And that is our rest and digest mode of the nervous system, really helping to get us into that calm state, steady breathing, clear thinking, really calm, able to sleep well, able to focus. So we really want to be predominantly in rest and digest mode of our nervous system, because stress is a big part of what leads people to having a damaged stomach lining. So you really want to work hard to assess the areas of your life that could be causing stress. So maybe it's saying yes to too many things and you need to rest more. Maybe it's simply using more calming tools, like taking walks. Maybe you will get with people you love and friends and family members and be able to have that community and have fellowship with people and taking stress, that load off that way. Maybe there are calming herbs that you can use, but looking to see, how can I get my nervous system into rest and digest? The other thing you want to look at for healing your stomach lining is to eat slowly, really chew your food well. This is going to be another signal to your body that says, okay, everything is fine. We don't have to rush. We can chew our food well. The body isn't in danger. Just really slowing down when you eat. It allows your digestive system to work properly. In fact, if we are in fight or flight and that sympathetic side of our nervous system, digestion is turned off. So stomach acid isn't secreted very well. Enzymes from the pancreas isn't secreted well. We won't have that peristalsis that moves stool through our large intestine. So really the digestive system is not the priority when you are in fight or flight. That is kind of a secondary thought because the body is so concerned about getting you out of danger and what it perceives as danger. So really work on taking a few deep breaths before you sit down to eat. Try not to work, when you eat, and just eat really slowly, chew really well. Praying even before meals too, no matter what your religious beliefs are, could be very helpful to just slow you down and take a moment, because it causes us to have thankfulness. It brings peace to our body because we are slowing down. We're focusing on positivity. We are taking a moment to stop the hustle and bustle. So the practice of praying before a meal can be very helpful. And then again, don't drink liquids with your meals. So this doesn't have to be to the extreme. Obviously, you can have your water or whatever and have a sip here and there with your meal. But I'm talking about consuming large glasses, several glasses of liquid with your food. What that is doing is it's watering down your stomach acid, for one. and it's causing, digestive enzymes to be diluted. So you're not going to properly break down those foods. And again, it will sit and ferment in that upper GI stomach and cause issues further. So really just try to hydrate between meals, ideally. And then you want to look at eliminating foods that are causing irritation. I will say, with me being a holistic practitioner, when somebody's dealing with reflux or really any symptom in general, we do use muscle testing to identify, okay, what is any food that could be causing the body to come out of balance, that's causing irritation to a specific organ or the body in whole, and really working to eliminate those while you actually heal. So that's an important part of healing the stomach lining. I will say from my experience, it may be different for you, but I've noticed caffeine, wheat, and sugar probably are the biggest things that cause irritation. Of course, you have the red sauce, the spicy foods, but those three things are a big thing that causes inflammation that I see with my clients in their upper GI stomach. Other things to consider is that you may have an infection going on too in your stomach. H. pylori is a big deal that you can get diagnosed, from your medical doctor if that's something that you suspect. But that could be a big reason why you have heartburn and reflux. So addressing if there is any bacterial overgrowths like that. Looking to see if there's even fungal overgrowths, parasitic overgrowths, things like that. So that is often things that I do help my clients with as well. So again, looking at the foods, looking if there's any infections in your stomach. And then we talked a little bit about stress already, of course, but looking at specific emotions, if you're dealing with some of these specific emotions, that could be greatly tied to why your stomach lining is inflamed. So in traditional Chinese medicine, you guys have probably heard me talk about this before, but there are specific organs that have specific emotions that are connected with them. So like the liver, anger is stored in the liver. If there is frustration, anger that somebody is dealing with, that's going to affect that organ. So for the stomach, a couple of emotions, the fear of losing control or having control over something is a big one. Not getting enough, that could pertain to not getting enough out of life or not getting enough out of a relationship that you're in, or wanting more of something, feeling like you're lacking something in your life. That's something to consider. Defensiveness is another emotion directly connected with your stomach. And again, not getting enough. I already mentioned that one. So something just to look at, to kind of take inventory of, just to see if there is anything that you are dealing with. So let's chat about, though, some specific supplements and herbs that can be useful for healing the stomach lining. So we talked about what could have caused that stomach lining to become damaged. Let's talk about tools that we can use, like as far as supplements go. So let's talk about herbs that can be useful. I would say herbs and supplements. Let's talk about like a supplement first. Digestive enzymes. That's probably one of the first things I will see if a client is on. So looking at betaine, which helps to support stomach lining, and working to support the stomach acid production to make sure that that is really good and strong. And looking at just an overall enzyme blend that has amylase, lipase, protease to help to digest fats, carbs, and proteins. You will have both plant-based and animal-based enzymes The quick difference that I mostly think about is the plant-based enzymes. They're going to work all the way from your stomach to the small intestine to the large intestine. They work all throughout the digestive system. The more of the animal-based enzymes, from what I've understood in research, they are really doing most of their job when it comes to the small intestine. That's where they really shine. But again, you still take those when you start eating, and it does start to hopefully break down in the upper GI stomach, but then it really goes to work in the small intestine. So you also have ox bile is in a lot of enzyme formulas, and then sometimes it's by itself even that you can get it like that. That's really great if there is any gallbladder issues, liver issues, and needing help with fat digestion. And then, of course, herbs that can be helpful for healing and soothing that stomach lining and the mucosal layer of your stomach. We can look at demulcent herbs. Slippery elm bark is a good one. Marshmallow root specifically. You could do aloe juice as well. I've had a lot of success with that. And then you can also do things like licorice root extract. There's lots of different things that you could do. They have deglycerized licorice. So that's really healing for the stomach lining. So there are lots of herbal options. You can do carminative herbs as well. Those are things to help with feeling really full, gas, bloating, things like that. It can kind of help to just soothe any irritation and help with that full feeling. So that could include peppermint, chamomile, lemon balm, catnip, fennel. All of those are really great overall digestive system herbs. And then bitter herbs are something that can be very helpful. We could get into a whole episode on bitter herbs, but they're supporting the digestive enzyme secretion. They're stimulating digestive enzymes from the liver, from the gallbladder, from the pancreas, from the stomach. So those are very, very helpful. But chamomile can actually be a bitter herb if you steep it long enough. Dandelion root, artichoke, and something called gentian is another really good herb for that. And then you have another herb. It's called mastic gum. It's really great for healing the stomach lining, especially has been shown to be helpful for bacterial overgrowths in the stomach. So just a few things to look out for, a few things to consider. Of course, when it comes to your own care, your practitioner will customize what they think is best for you to start taking, but hopefully that gives you guys some good tools to use, and also just education and power to say, okay, I realize now that we need stomach acid for good digestion. We need good, strong stomach acid for digesting protein and getting that nutrition from our food. And it's actually not the problem of why I have heartburn, and looking to see how can we heal the stomach lining. That's going to be very, very important. So I hope this episode was helpful. This is just a quick episode when it comes to looking at the small kind of intestinal and upper GI stomach issues when it comes to heartburn, reflux. So I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope to talk to you soon.